So this is a section on job requirements. So this is giving you an idea of whether you should be applying for this job. Because each application is going to have non-negotiable requirements and negotiable requirements, essentially. So you've got mandatory things that you have to have before you can apply for this job. And then some stuff that is a nice to have, and that's a different matter. So I've called this restrictions. So these are your mandatory requirements. So this is to come and work in this department, you need a physics or a maths degree. To come and work in this department, you need an aerospace engineering degree. To work in this department, you need 3 A levels. You know, there's a set requirement, and that's because of the type of work that's been done. Sometimes, particularly in the defence industry and some of the space industry, you need security clearance. And this depends on where you live, where you were born, and how long you've lived in that country. So in a lot of the defence world, in the UK, you need UK eyes only. So make sure that you qualify for UK eyes only before applying for the job. Otherwise, they will just not process your application and you've wasted your time there. These are going to be very clearly labelled. It will be very clear what these restrictions are. So do check that you meet the initial requirements, because the first thing that will happen to your application when it lands at the company is it will be screened by someone in HR and it says a go, no go tick box. So if you don't have those requirements, it's out. No one will ever see it. If it's a company you really want to work for, but you don't meet that department's requirements, check out the other departments, because quite often, particularly for degree-based stuff, it's quite different department to department. So there's always ways around this, but just please don't waste your time applying for a job that you just are unable to get. So those are the mandatory things, the things that you have to have. So right to work, ability to get the correct security clearance. And then there's the non-mandatory things, the desirable things, the skills that say, oh, we would like people to get this. We would like people to have this. It's not going to stop you getting the job. And you don't need to meet all of these by any means. And particularly when you go further along, when you're applying for jobs after your first job, you get a whole list of like 15 things that they say they want you to have. If you hit like 50, 60% of them, you're perfectly fine to apply to them because they're unrealistic. This is things also that you can change on the time scale. Like you must have a passport to have this job. You don't have a passport, you can apply and get one on that time scale. You need to have a driving license. Same again, you can apply. You can't change your nationality. You can't change where you've lived for the last 10 years on a few months time scale. But there are things that you can get. So hit the requirements that you have to have. Make sure you tick those before you apply. The negotiable ones, treat accordingly. You don't have to hit them 100%. So read the requirements for the job you're applying to. Understand the difference, which are the mandatory ones and which are the ones that are nice to haves, the negotiable ones. And instead, if you don't hit the mandatory ones, look at other departments. That might well help you. A lot of this stuff is desirable skills, and for the kind of the entry-level jobs, it should be quite wide and open. Like we want someone with the ability to speak to other people, a good understanding of the technical requirements, much more open things. But remember, you don't need to hit 100% of the negotiable requirements to apply. Okay, when you're ready, on to the next video, and I'll see you there.